Today on Rich with Cars, I bring you RCF Fuji Speedway Edition. I cannot believe I get to see one of the 50 units available in the US. Guys, strap in. Let's take a look at this beast. For 2022, Lexus came out with the Fuji Speedway in this phenomenal color called Heat Satin Blue. All 50 units are only available in this matte blue color that's very similar to the ultrasonic blue or the structural blue that actually comes with the Lexus LC500. A lot of goodies came on this RCF Fuji Speedway, which is basically it's in its third year of production. Every year it's been a different thing that came out with it. First year was the track edition. Second year was Fuji Speedway. And the third year, which is this one, 2022, is Fuji Speedway, and only coming in this beautiful color. We're gonna get started with an exterior overview and go over some of the goodies that came with this Fuji Speedway and talk about all the details that came with this car. So this 2022 Fuji Speedway has a lot of the actual design features that the regular RCF has, including the triple beam headlights. But on this special edition, you get a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't come with any other Lexus vehicle. OEM from the factory. So let's get started. First things first, carbon fiber hood. Beautiful, beautiful hood. And it's actually done at the Lexus plant through their carbon fiber weave that they actually have. That carbon fiber weave that they've actually come up with was originally developed for the Lexus LFA. And since then, they've used it on many of their other vehicles. Now, some other things that came with this is this front lip spoiler. Also carbon fiber. Now, a cool thing that the owner told me, I didn't even know this, but if we go under, you get to see, very, very smart. It's got some protection to actually keep the carbon fiber under the lip spoiler protected. And that's rubber right there. Really, really, really smart. Love that. Moving on to the side, we have exclusive 19-inch forged aluminum wheels. These are lightweight, specifically to actually help the mass of the vehicle, alongside with all the other carbon fiber components. You look even deeper behind the wheel, and we have carbon ceramic brakes. You can see it's actually marked here on the brake caliper. And I believe these are Brembo brakes, carbon ceramics. Really awesome. Of course, you can't take your eyes off this paint color as we move on to the side. And you move a little bit lower down, and we have a carbon fiber side splitter as well. Onto the rear. Once again, the forged aluminum wheels with the carbon ceramic brakes in the back. One thing that I love about what Lexus did with this car was the fact that they actually use the carbon ceramic brakes on both the front and the rears. There's other manufacturers out there, for example, like Mercedes-Benz on their AMG versions. When they actually give you the carbon ceramic brake option, they only put it on the front and not on the rears. Trust me, when Lexus wants to do something good, they do it the right way. Moving on to the rear. Oh, this thing is just incredible. I just can't get over that rear wing. Only exclusive to the Fuji Speedway edition. If I had the possibility, I'd definitely get this wing for my car. Love it. Look how Lexus actually worked their magic and integrating the F logo onto the side of the actual rear spoiler. Incredible. Now off to the rear. Once again, more carbon fiber for the rear diffuser. Just incredible. And even more amazing, you got titanium exhausts, which comes with the car, OEM. Now this is basically Lexus's effort in making this car lighter, which is why they came out with the Fuji Speedway edition, or the track edition initially, was to actually reduce the weight of the vehicle. And the vehicle's weight was ultimately reduced through the integration of all these components, which include the carbon fiber hood, lightweight wheels, carbon ceramic brakes, all the carbon on the side, carbon roof as well, which I believe comes with the regular RCF on some of the actual specs or models. And then you got the carbon wing to keep this beast held down for downforce. And then you got even more with the actual titanium exhausts. So all these different components have helped actually reduce the weight of the regular RCF towards the Fuji Speedway edition. The rear of the actual RCF Fuji Speedway is basically the same as the regular RCF, and this version has the updated taillights, as you can see over here, which I believe they actually updated in 2020. I still can't get over this wing, and as you can see, it's actually trunk mounted, and the reason for that is to give it proper downforce. Once again, I'm going to show you guys the actual F that's actually engraved. It's not even engraved, it's actually the carbon fiber weave that gives it the shape of that F. It's really artisanal work. So one cool feature on the Fuji Speedway edition that you get with the vehicle is the fact that you actually get a key card. So basically, I don't have any other key on me. Using this key card, and I believe it uses NFC technology, I can just unlock the door. Now, apologies for the sticker over here, but the owner just ended up tinting the window, so that's why we have this over there. But as I'm actually focusing on this area, you can see this Fuji Speedway is number 9 of 50, which is extremely cool. Gives this car a very special feel because you know you got something very rare. As we're gonna move into the interior, you can see over here that one of the things on the Fuji Speedway edition is that you have this special finish on the carbon fiber, which is basically a blue weave into the carbon fiber to match the exterior color. Alongside with that, you get blue stitching, and it's all Alcantara. The seats themselves are also majority in Alcantara as well, with some blue highlights in the middle. I love these seats. Really, really nice. The other thing also that you get is Alcantara on the steering wheel, with blue highlight in Alcantara as well. You get the aluminum pedals and the aluminum footrest as well. Let's move in. So the Fuji Speedway doesn't have many different things than the regular RCF in terms of functionalities. It's got the same layout, but it's got different finishes. like I mentioned before, you have the blue weave in the actual carbon fiber all around the interior. You have Alcantara armrest in the middle and an Alcantara shift knob. Let's get this baby started. Of course, I didn't get a cold start over here, so you won't get a cold start noise out of it, but still. So, not many changes in regards to the gauge cluster or even the infotainment screen. You still control it through the pad over here, as you can see. And you still have the similar type of controls for the temperature on the dual climate zones. One thing about Lexus that I have to admit, even being an owner, is that some of their technology is a little bit antiquated, but at the end of the day, it works phenomenally well. As I press menu, you can see all the different menu items, which include your destination, and you have little shortcuts here, very similar to the actual UI that I have on the LC500. You have audio with the shortcuts on top, phone, apps, projection, which allows you to actually project if you connect your phone to the actual USB, and you can have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Info, which gives you vehicle information in terms of fuel efficiency and other things as well. Setup, general setup of the actual vehicle, and then your climate controls as well. So the heart of this animal, RCF Fuji Speedway, it's the 2UR GSC engine that comes in the regular RCF and the LC500, and is actually shared across other vehicles as well, like the GSF as well, on the original IS, which is now on the IS 500 as well. Beautiful thing about this though that I love is how the blue from the intake manifolds that they commonly used on all the different engines for the 2UR GSC F models now actually goes with the color of the vehicle, and you can see on the actual engine bay how cool that actually matches. Really cool stuff. Now this engine actually puts out 472 horsepower and 395 pound-per-foot of torque, and is actually naturally aspirated, so you get to hear that V8 rumble like there's no tomorrow. Part of the actual lightweight program that they did on this Fuji Speedway allows this Speedway Edition, Fuji Speedway Edition, be propelled to 60 miles an hour in less than 4 seconds. I believe it's 3.96 seconds, 0 to 60 time. So I have the pleasure here of actually having a quick talk with the owner of this Fuji Speedway Edition. Thank you very much, by the way, for allowing me to review your car. I'm actually very satisfied to be able to actually review one of the first ever Fuji Speedway Editions for 2022 in this amazing color. Now my first question is, what ended up making you decide to get this amazing beast?
It's funny you ask. Just a few weeks ago, I was just sitting at home, and May from Lexus, she texted me with a bunch of photos saying, we just got this in and it reminded us of you. And I was kind of just joking around. I was like, well, it's much nicer than the white 2020 RCF I currently have. I'll trade you. And I even put laugh out loud. And then her response was, well, we can. And my response was, well, what time are you guys there till today? She said 6 o'clock. It was a Sunday. I said, I'll be there in 30 minutes. It looks so much more beautiful in person. Just seeing it. I didn't even need to drive it. and I knew I wasn't leaving the dealership without it. So
Yeah, I can only imagine. When I first saw this in person, I was actually blown away. I mean, it makes me even think about getting rid of my LC and trying to get one for myself. How do you actually find it compared to the regular RCF? Because you were an RCF owner prior to this,
yes,
as you just mentioned.
So before this, I had the 2020 RCF, which I was completely satisfied with. I had no issues with it. I only had it for 2 years, 13,000 miles. I was actually surprised on how much the weight reduction made a difference in its handling. That was one of the few things I didn't really like about the regular RCF was it did feel like a boat when cornering.
Right.
Huge difference. Even before you get into a turn with this car, just driving it, taking easy turns, you can definitely feel the weight reduction, which I was surprised. I think they said something estimated it's only like 200 pounds lighter, but I was actually surprised on how much difference I could feel with the handling.
I can only imagine. One last question that I had for you. Now, despite the fact that this color is so gorgeous, it is a matte paint. So I'm assuming you've already prepared and started looking into different ways that you can take care of that beautiful paint.
Definitely. So first things first, I just got this a couple weeks ago and got a couple quotes already for a full paint protection film. Of course, being carbon fiber and matte, they'd have to go 2 different films. In addition to that, I've already purchased different cleaning materials and quick detailers and protecting sealants. I have carbon fiber specific protection sealants. I have matte paint specific wash and protection. So it is going to be a little more tedious in the maintenance in the detailing, but it's worth it. I mean, you don't see too many cars with this color and combination of the carbon and the matte.
Oh, it's definitely worth it. I can definitely tell you that much. From my perspective, being a fan of this car. Well, look, I mean, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And I really do hope that you actually enjoy this car.
Well,
Take good care of her.
Thanks, Rich. I appreciate
guys,
it.
so that was a huge honor to be able to actually review this Fuji Speedway edition, one of the first in the entire country. I have to thank my buddy for allowing me to review this beast. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with any questions that you guys have. And I'll see you guys on the next one.